Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to Love Adventure number 2 readings. The last time I did love readings was about 3 or 4 months ago. It was like back in June of this year. So it's time for an update. Now, these are timeless, of course, but love is such an amazing adventure into knowing who we really are. So we're going to jump in and see what's coming next in our adventure of love. If you want to check out the previous ones, I will throw a link to the playlist for the Love Adventure number 1 at the end. So if you want to go check those out, feel free to do so. But let's go ahead and jump in and see what is in store for you. All right, all my Libras, this is your love adventure reading for the next 3 months. And we're going to start off first here by pulling a card from the Rumi Oracle. And what this is going to represent is what the Creator wants you to know. Just about the 3 months overall, kind of like the theme or the overall energies for that time. Or just what they want you to know, just about the 3 months. So let's see here, Creator, what do you want our Libras to know about their next 3-month adventure? Oop. Being Butterfingers, dropping cards. Okay, there we are right away. And you got the Celestial Rose of Ma, number 10. And I love that. Beautiful rose in the middle of the card there. Celestial, all the stars within it. It is the number 10, so you've got some endings and new beginnings coming in regarding your love adventure. And of course, I think I mentioned it in the intro here too, that, you know, this doesn't have to do with just romance or intimate kind of relationships and love, but love of friendships, love of family, even love of coworkers, you know, the relationships you have, and even with your companion animals, you know, your fur babies and your feather babies, whatever they may be. So it starts off here with a message from Rumi. And it says, "The Divine Mother offers me her rose. How rich that gift may be. I tear my flesh on its thorns and my blood flows. I curse myself for carelessness, and yet in my desire to grasp this gift, it happens again and again. Then I realize such is its scent, its beauty. How can I be tentative in my approach? My senses are drenched in beauty, and I long to inhale the exquisite perfume, to reach for the velvet dew of the petals, soft and delicate under my touch. Perhaps I will be scraped and I will bleed, yet that is not enough to deter me, to prevent me from accepting this gift. The magnificence of the bloom renders the struggle to enjoy it as worthy, noble, essential pursuit. Of course, I understand something so precious must be protected. It must be allowed to live, more than this, to thrive. So those thorns are hooks that allow for growth for those that would bear the pain of the ascent to the rose's blooming heart. And those thorns are barbs that keep away those that would consume the creation without appreciating its worth and beauty. Yes, those thorns serve essential purpose. I cannot begrudge them, for I love the rose, and so I love what is necessary for her to be. So I love the thorns too." And that's beautiful, you know. The rose, you know, the Divine Mother, the divine love, the unconditional love of our Creator, the Creatress, you know, the mother and father of all things. That is what we are. That's where we come from. And these thorns that we experience in the stem of the rose is the contrast to it, the conditional love, the conditional feelings and pain and suffering, everything we experience here on earth is the conditional love. It's its opposite. And in order to understand and appreciate what exists on the other side, we come here to experience what is not. So in experiencing this conditional love or the fear of losing love, then we understand more fully what unconditional love, what truly and beautiful this unconditional love is. And so I love that piece in here. And it does go on. Let me see. It's a little bit more here, so it's going to be a little story time with Brother Zen for a moment. So I appreciate your patience, but it's beautiful and well worth it. So it says, a spiritual gift is on its way to you. The celestial rose of the Divine Mother is a precious offering of sacred love to the soul. That love can lift you beyond what you have known, beyond self-imposed limits, by the uplifting fragrance of grace. You will begin to think thoughts you have never dared think before, like maybe you're worthy of love, right? You will feel moved by life, by its sacredness in a way elusive to you. You will feel ecstasy without apparent cause, and you'll feel as though every breath is a seductive caress of the heavenly lover. You'll be open and surrendered in a way you have longed to be, but in a way you've never known quite how to go about. The spiritual gift signifies the ending of a period of suffering and the opening up of a time of new opportunity, of flourishing, and a thriving release of your unique soul fragrance into the world. And it's a gift worth having. So then, the sticking point is not the value of the gift. The sticking point, the place where one can stumble and place hands on the ground to break a fall rather than open them to receive, is in the thorn. The thorn is the point of pain. It's what tears at you, but it is essential for you to receive the rose. Your thorn may be the love you need to let go of now, so you are open to your present rather than your haunted past. Your thorn may be the fear that if you grow too vibrant and embrace the magnificence of your being, others will shun you out of jealousy or fear and leave you alone. Your thorn may be a constant need to bargain with life, that you shall take one step provided certain unwanted events don't take place, rather than just accepting it and living it as presented to you. Your thorn may be looking deep within the heart and removing a crown of thorns, representative of your suffering over a long, long time. Letting it go, allowing the heart to heal. This, with a sense of virginal purity to emanate from the heart, realizing that even great suffering has not tarnished its radiance, but only allowed it to grow strong. Your ready for love heart can now be free from expectation conditions, right? And instead be open to life with curiosity and reverence. Oh, those thorns, they have served their purpose, not in and of themselves, but rather that they have proven you worthy of the rose and ready now to receive its beauty, healing, and grace. Whatever your thorns are or have been, be willing to deal with them, to face them, and most importantly, to release them without any shred of doubt, shame, guilt, or recrimination. Beloved, they have served, and now their purpose has been completed. The celestial rose of Ma promises a gift worth so much more than any pain you're holding on to. So release to receive now. And can you sense the dew-soft petals and luscious fragrance opening to you now? Beautiful. I really love that. So yeah, definitely seeing that these thorns that you are experiencing are all part of your experience, and that in going through that, you have found yourself worthy of unconditional love for just being who you are. And that opens you up to share this beautiful love that you are, this beautiful rose that your heart is, your own fragrance with the world as well. So we will, of course, look more into this. And next, we're going to pull a card here from this Crystal Medicine Oracle. And, excuse me, what this will show us is what tool that you can use to help move from the scars and the pain of the thorns and move into that beautiful place of the unconditional love and the fragrance of the beauty of that huge, huge heart of the creator, of the creatress, God and goddess, the mother and father of all things, the one who loves us so much. Nothing we can do to lose it, nothing we can do to gain more of it, because you have it all. All right, creator for Libra, what would you like them to know about? What will help them move beyond the pain of the thorns into the beauty of the rose? All right, there we go. Well, there you go. Unconditional love. Number 33, a master number. And lo and behold, it's Mother Mary is the medicine, which this is the Celestial Rose of Ma, which is mother, right? And then the crystal or stone is diamond, is what the helps with the healing as well. So, excuse me, beautiful, beautiful synchronicities there with this card, of course. What a surprise. There we go. So it says this is one of the most powerful cards in the deck, and it has come to you today to remind you that you are love. Not loved, you are loved, but that you are love. The love expressed here is unconditional love, which has no boundaries. The energy that makes up the universe, or the celestial, right? That's funny. But the energy that makes up the universe, and no matter what happens, embraces everything with abundance in all ways. This love is shared with no expectation of getting anything in return. It is your true state of being, who you are at your core, your soul's vibration. Love is what makes the world go around, and without love, there is no life. Have you been feeling a lack of love? Are you searching for love in people and other things outside of yourself to fill you up? Have you lost yourself and are trying to find your way home? Are you going through a time of grieving or loss? Have you just split from a relationship? Whatever your current circumstance, know that unconditional love is the answer. Do whatever is required so you can connect to this abundant, everlasting energy within you. It's not always easy to love yourself without conditions for who you are right here, right now. However, you are encouraged to give it a good go. It's time to be kind, compassionate, and gentle with yourself, and practice the art of loving whatever arises within you. And as your feelings and thoughts arise, bring a depth of understanding and compassion through for yourself. Set yourself free with unconditional love, knowing that love is the answer and has the power to heal all. I love that. Let's take a quick sip of water here. Excuse me. Yeah, so perfect, so perfect. And then the medicine, Mother Mary, it says, of course, Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus, holds unconditional love in its purest form. Her sacred heart shines upon humanity, offering kindness, understanding, nurturing, compassion, forgiveness, and grace. Despite her hardship, Mary stood true to her mission and purpose, demonstrating by this dedication that miracles can transpire. Mother Mary is held in high regard by the Catholic Church as a symbol for hope and faith, and is known to care and look over the children of the world. Her three main values are humanity, simplicity, and charity, and she's the essence of the Divine Feminine. So call upon Mother Mary to guide you at any time in your life with all issues of unconditional love. She is ready and waiting to share her sacred divine heart with you. that is beautiful. And it's so much, the love, the compassion, just the unconditional love of the mother side of the Creator and the father side of the Creator. That is the essence. We are made of unconditional love. Like it said, you are love. And so realizing that and connecting to this unconditional love is what helps you transform from this painful memories, these painful experiences of conditional love, moving into this realm of unconditional love, of experiencing that purity of love in this realm. And what we're going to look at next, I've got these 2 sets of these cards. These are love oracle cards. And I've got one that is dark, which I consider like the shadow side, which are going to represent the thorns, of course. And then I've got the pink deck, which for me represents the higher heart, our spiritual heart, our heart that's full of unconditional love. And so we'll look at these thorns, and then we'll also look at when you connect with your unconditional love, remembering who you really are, connecting to that beautiful, comforting side of our Creator, the Spirit, like I said, the Comforter, like they call it, the Holy Spirit, the Comforter. When you connect with all of that, then what does the Creator want you to know about what you feel and how you experience love? So we'll start off here with our thorns. This, of course, is a general reading, so I'm not going to be able to cover all thorns in the garden. So take whatever resonates with you and leave the rest for other people. Okay. All right, Creator, what thorns do you want our lovely Libras to know about for this reading, please? And any others? Okay, no, so just these 3. So you have the coffin here, and this is about, we talked about endings already. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, transition. But because it's in the thorn side, then this, of course, is the pain of losing someone to death. Someone that you loved so much and you cared for so much, and again, this can be, a romantic, intimate partner or a friend or a family member, coworker. It can be even, one of your family who were fur babies or, feather babies, because they do become part of our family, and we do have sometimes even deeper bonds with our animal friends than we do with humans because of their unconditional love that you just feel from them, But this is the pain of feeling that loss. Like I mentioned in here, have you lost someone? Have you lost someone in a relationship? Are you feeling loss in your life? And this is definitely one of the things that we feel. Either people passed away or they left our lives voluntarily, right? Or even sometimes involuntarily. Sometimes if they're like it seems involuntarily, like if they're in the military or something where they have to leave town and move somewhere else. You can't leave to go with them. Sometimes that can be represented here too. Again, general reading, there's so many ways of feeling a loss in our lives in a variety of different ways. But this is about that feeling of, that you feel this empty spot in your life. And we're taught that. We're taught that we're a half of a person and we meet another half of a person, and then that makes us a whole person. And when we lose them, we become half of a person again. And there's a beautiful transformation that happens when you connect to that unconditional love and you realize that you are whole and complete and you're never half of a person. You are a beautiful, amazing being in your own right? And so this is a thorn that does consume a lot of our energy when we have the belief and all the stories that we've attached to when someone leaves our life in one way or another. And then you have twin flames. And this is about, rather than reading the bottom here, because when it's on this side, it's not about this feeling this togetherness and feeling like you're peas in a pod and all this. What this represents is this, and it kind of comes down to that belief that I was just talking about half and half equals a one, with twin flames. Sometimes the messaging around that and the stories that are created around that are that there's someone that we're incomplete without until we meet them. But that is of the world of our ego. That's the world of this human side of us, where we want to be able to experience what it might feel like to be less than one. I'm a half, and so, when we have this belief that there's this one that I'm going to meet in my life, and someday in the future I'll be happy when I come across them, or that I'm with them. Or you might think, I'm in that relationship right now with my twin flame, and then they pass away, then what becomes of you? So that's this cycle that is built in our belief around our relationships, that we are incomplete without these external relationships. But the beautiful thing that happens is this transformation is when you connect to this unconditional love within you, and you realize you are whole and complete just by yourself, because ultimately we are part of this huge sea of beings of unconditional love and light, that you don't look at it as, I need to be with all these people, I need these people to be complete. Over in this realm, it becomes, like the stuff on the bottom here, where you feel like you complement one another, you feel it's an above and beyond. All those relationships are extras. It's not the I need to be with you. It's, hey, I want to be with you. I don't need to be with you. I am fine with me. But hey, you're so intriguing and interesting. I want to be with you, and that's a totally different feeling of, this is desperation, and this is just passion and just enjoyment and happiness, right? And then you have healing heart. So yeah, definitely this is talks about heartbreak here, toxic relationship addictions, and so these other pains that you've experienced is really being addicted to love, kind of like we talked about. And it's this heartbreak, is one of those other stories that we're told that our heart can be broken. And we come here to experience what it might feel like for our heart to be broken, because our true heart, our high heart, our spirit heart cannot be broken. It's full and it's complete and it's whole. It cannot be. It's indestructible. But here we experience what it might feel like to be heartbroken and to be betrayed and disappointed and all those other uncomfortable emotions rooted in fear. But the at the crux of it all, what the heartbreak feel really is when our heart is pierced, when it's pinched in a way, where our body pinches our heart and says, when we go into fight or flight mode, it's that sudden feeling, like whenever anyone startles you and your heart goes, that's, if you look at it, that's the same feeling as a heartbreak. That's the same feeling as the fear of being rejected, the fear of not being good enough. So when you find out someone is sleeping with someone else and they're not supposed to be according to your agreement, your heart goes, like it's got scared. You startled me. It's like, yeah, because you have these beliefs around what that means about you. All these things, all these actions people make, what do they mean about you? All the supposed to's and the shoulds and the need to's and the have to's, when those don't get met, we go into fight or flight mode, and that's when our heart feels like it's breaking, but it's actually just fearing. And that fear is what we come here to experience. And all those expectations are what make us create these toxic kind of cycles with individuals, whether it's codependency or, we pursue others and it's only one-sided love, and all those wonderful experiences that we get to experience when there's expectations around connecting our worth to our relationships with other people. And I'm going to put our beautiful rose quartz heart here, which represents your higher spiritual heart, full of this unconditional love. And then we're just going to see from the Creator what they want you to know, that once you start looking into those thorns that have that painful, suffering type memories and emotions, that once you start embracing those with unconditional love, and you start feeling those moments, even if you go back and look at them and bring that unconditional love into them, it transforms those. But once you go through this, what kind of experience, like how do you experience love? Unconditional love instead of this conditional love. Whoa, okay. There's 2. Okay, and there's the 3rd. Okay, we're flying there. Look at that, ascending. Beautiful. Transcending obstacles, learning expansion, new phase, preparing for union. So yeah, definitely quite opposite from this other one here. And I'm going to mirror the coffin here with the ascending, because I really feel this reminds me of the Judgment card in the Major Arcana, which normally shows someone in a coffin, like a bunch of open coffins, and people are standing up, and there's an angel that's blowing a horn, which kind of resembles like a rapture of kinds. And what it represents, though, is that you wake up to who you really are, and you realize you're not this human, but that you're this higher self. You're the heart. You're this spiritual being, a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And so this is preparing for union. So, when you are filled with this love, then again, it's not a desperate search. It's not a, I need you. It's a, hey, I want to hang around with some people, and I want to share this unconditional love with the world. And so who can I share that with? And that brings this new feeling of union into relationships, whether it's romantical or your friend relationships, your family relationships, etc. Yep. And then you break up, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, and abandonment. But I really feel it's those top 2. You know what no longer serves you. You know those beliefs, those relationships that no longer serve you, in those situations. And so you have the power to cut away those things. This kind of reminds me almost of the Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords is just how you also cut away thoughts and beliefs and attitudes, mindsets, and expectations. You're allowed to cut away those things that you're holding in your mind. The supposed to be's, the shoulds, the need to's, the have to's. You realize those things that no longer serve you. They served you for this experience. The thorn experience, you actually came here to experience on purpose, for a purpose, but now you're ready to move beyond that. And so you start cutting those things out of your life. Because it's time. Ding, 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 ding. It says, you need time. You take time. In time. Cycles. Time to heal. Progress. So yeah, definitely all of those, depending on your individual time. Some of you have been through a lot, and you've been through, like for me, I was in serial monogamy. I would go from a relationship out of one into another relationship a couple weeks later, and then be with them for a while, and then it would end, and then I would go into another relationship a few weeks later. So I loved when someone said, yeah, you're in serial monogamy. You just go, and you don't even have any time to really reflect on the relationships you came from or what you went through. You just take it and jump in with it all into another one. Here, I got all the baggage, jumping into the next plane. I'm rushing to the next plane. I'm rushing to the next plane, picking up things in the airport shopping mall as I go, collecting more baggage as I go. And so, sometimes it's good to have that time where you put relationships on pause, get this relationship with yourself, which is the most amazing. It's the love you've been searching for, because your higher self is who you get to know. who of course is connected to the other, whole essence of unconditional love, that sea of love that's on the other side. You connect to yourself, thus connect to all of it as well. But definitely taking time for you, taking your time, not rushing into a relationship, enjoying the moments as you go along. And that's what happens when you don't feel a rush, you don't have that desperation. You're able just to take your time because you already have everything you need. You have all the time in the world because you are connected to your eternal soul. When you're living life in your ego knows its active time here on earth is time bound, and so it's rushing to try to do all this stuff. But when you're connected to your higher eternal spiritual self, what are you rushing for? You have all the time, like I said. And then next we're going to pull a card here from the Everyday Tarot. And we're just going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about these next 3 months. Creator, what else do you want our Libras to know about this next 3-month adventure of love? Okay. What else? Okay, and what else? Okay. So get your 3 cards here, and you've got the Sun. Yeah, definitely. And this is all about moving out, from this darkness into the light. It's being renewed. You've got a little child here, so it's again rebirth. And of course, with the horse, you got this movement, and movement out of the situation into the new. Definitely connecting. I really feel like this Sun is the feeling you have when you connect to your higher self, to this beautiful unconditional love that you have here, because you also have they hold like this wands, which I always look at as like the Ace of Wands. Well, not always. I usually look at it as the Ace of Wands because that wands is your fire energy, but also represents your spirit. It's this new spiritual energy. It's this new spiritual connection, and this new passion, this new spark, this new drive that enters your life. And it's truly like you're raised from the dead. You realize who you are, and it's one of the most powerful cards. It means success, it means abundance. You are positive movement, positive things coming into your life. So I love that. Yeah. And then you have the 8 of Cups. Cups are emotions, and you can look at each of these cups that are here as the things that were supposed to fulfill you, the things that were supposed to make you feel whole and complete. But instead, they left you thirstier and hungrier and disappointed. And then there you are leaving, going into a different direction because you have found something that is fulfilling, and you're on this journey to there. And so I'm actually going to put this here because these are the things you're leaving behind. You got the Celestial here, so I'm going to put the Sun here. And then you have the 10 of Wands, and again you have Wands, which I mentioned is your spiritual side, and your ambitions and your drive. And for this reading, because it's sitting in this area here, this just represents the amount of energy that you have. And, and 10 is the number of this card here. So the Celestial Rose of Ma, you have all this beautiful love energy that is just filling up your life and overflowing it. It's almost too much to handle as an earthly human being, because we can only take so much before we explode. But it's this beautiful feeling of it, like your hands are full of all this love, of all this abundant energy, where you feel, everything you were searching for here, and on the outside you find from the inside. So that wholeness, that completeness, the feeling like you're never alone. And speaking of being never alone, We're also going to pull a card here from the guardian angel cards, just to see what message your guardian angel has for you. Because you have a guardian angel that's been with you since the moment your soul was created. And they will be with you. They chose to be created along with you, and they'll be with you through your entire existence as a soul. So it's your constant companion. And I'll show you this here too. Because you do have this massive group of beings on the other side of unconditional love and light, Creator, the Holy Spirit and Spirit, your guardian angel and angels, your spirit guides, your loved ones you've lived with on this life and that have already returned to the other side, your ancestors, and just a whole myriad of beings of unconditional love and light. They're always around you, giving you love, and you're never alone. So if you ever feel lonely and you feel like you're on your own, just know that you're not. And you got oneness. Let you see that, and then I'll read it. And it says, someone you dearly miss is forever present in your heart. So that could refer back to this one, this coffin here, right? Remember, dearest one, that even though there has been a physical parting, spiritually those we love never leave us. Creation is eternal. Nothing is ever truly missing, for all is interconnected and ultimately one. So pretty much what we've talked about. I love it. And then lastly, I'm going to pull a card or a couple cards here from the heart affirmation cards here. But I'm going to take this white quartz on the heart, and I'm going to put that over the thorns over here, because what this crystal does is it helps bring clarity around the thorns. And it happens as we connect with our energy, this beautiful unconditional love that's in our heart. When we're feeling whole and complete and we're in this calm space, we can go look over our thorns of the past. We can see those scars, and we can realize that each and every one of these situations that happened didn't happen to us. They actually happened for us. Like we talked about when we read about the thorns, that in experiencing the thorns, we understand our worth about unconditional love, and the clarity we get around what unconditional love is by experiencing the conditional. But the other thing that happens is we realize that everyone that acted in ways that we took on as pain, we realize those actions were not personal toward us. We realize that, like someone drowning and you try to go out to rescue them, that they might smack you, they might try to take you down under with them, just out of fear, out of that fight and flight mode that their bodies are in. The blood has left their brain, and they're literally acting out of their minds. And so this awareness comes that other people's actions didn't have a whole lot to do with us at all, if at all, because they were just in survival mode, they were in panic mode, and they had no idea what they were doing outside of themselves. They were just trying to survive. So it brings that clarity around that, if you so wish. Okay, and then lastly, we're going to pull just some cards here to see what the Creator wants our Libras to know about these 3 months of love adventure. And there we go. Boom, boom, boom. And the first one here is, I trust my inner guidance. My soul knows the way forward. And so we're going to put that right in here. So definitely getting in tune with your higher self, and of course your guardian angel and all that posse of support on the other side. They are outside time and space. And so when you connect with them, you can trust that inner guidance. They don't have any other ulterior motives in mind, because they have everything they need. They just want to be able to share their love with the world and help us on our path. And so we can ask them of our own free will, because they won't mess with our free will while we're here. But if we ask of our own free will and ask for questions to be answered, ask for signs and synchronicities, they will provide that to us. We just have to listen. And to listen, if we're in the fear mode, it's so noisy we can't hear. But if you connect to your higher love, the unconditional love, and raise your frequency and your vibration up to one of unconditional love and peace and joy and laughter, it's silent and quiet there, and you can hear the whispers from the other side, the whispers of love at the frequency that they communicate. They always hear us, even through the noise, but we can't hear them until we do that. And then you have, I am clearly guided by my revered guardian who protects me always. So your guardian angel letting you know they got your back. And then lastly, I choose to transform my life, resolving past issues with strength, courage, and willpower. And we're going to put that one right here, because that you're transforming all that into there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I am loving this. Moving from the thorns into this abundance. Wow. It's going to be a beautiful transformational 3-month period for you. And just know as you go through each and every second of it that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things. And I, of course, love you too. If you are interested in looking at the first Love Adventure reading that I did, the playlist, like I mentioned, is somewhere here. So it'll take you to the playlist, and you can choose your sign or signs, whatever you want to look at there. And, just know that it doesn't stop here, of course. I do have monthly readings and weekly readings, and there's different playlists that are at the bottom, not at the bottom, but at the end of this video here too. So if you want to keep up to date on just where things are going, what messages you have, there's plenty of messages coming your way. So I'll be talking to you very soon, and until then, you take care.